I don't even know what is it? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
I got confused today.
About the day of the week.
Yeah, because like there's a pod I do, Mark Rogers. It's normally on Tuesday, and I got like the inbox, and they were like, "All right, guys, y'all ready for 7?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute. What's today?" Because I had tried to take a nap, but it's one of those naps not a good one.
Okay.
But you kind of go into the REM, but you're still awake.
Yeah, I'm not a nap guy, so.
All right, just imagine when you're trying to go to sleep.
Okay.
And you think you're going to sleep, but you hear everything that's going around you.
Oh, yeah.
So it kind of threw me off.
So did you do the podcast like that?
I'm sure I didn't have the energy that I normally have, but it was a lot to talk about. We needed to have it.
Yeah,
there's things going on.
Bro, it's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's hard to even keep up with during the day. A lot of things going on. I don't know what to think about any of them. We talk every day about, do we think it's going to happen? Do we think there's going to be football? I have no flipping clue anymore. I mean, UConn canceling their season. They're not even part of a conference,
yeah,
right?
That doesn't bother me.
I mean, how do you play a season right now if you're not part of a conference?
They don't have I told somebody they cancel their games, their season, because they don't have any games to fulfill.
Right. So that doesn't mean anything to me. The one thing I am getting a little aggravated with, like, what are we waiting on SEC? We can't get schedules.
Everybody wants to announce it to get that market share.
But we haven't even announced. Like, the Big Ten already shows who's playing who. We already know who's playing who in the ACC.
Oh, y'all don't even know. Oh, they haven't even made that part yet.
We don't even know that yet. Like, that part's getting a little bit annoying. But, I mean, I guess another day when the NCAA did cancel championships for Division II and Division III.
Yeah. So does that mean they're not having a season, or is it just like, or what is that about?
I don't know. I don't know, and I need to know because we have a ton of quarterbacks.
Well, D3 said they're not having a season.
They're not having one at all.
Yeah, they're done. They stopped before they got started.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, Division II. I mean, one of our quarterbacks is the best player in the country in Division II. So
that sucks.
That's going to.
I like him.
Now. Yeah, but I don't. Listen. At the end of the day, we've been saying all along, where there's bigger money, there's more likely they'll play.
Right.
There's not big money in Division II and Division III football. There's money, but there's not tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars in the case of even some of the lower tier Division I programs. I mean, you start getting into MAC football, and that's tens of millions of dollars, right?
Right.
At the Division II level, a lot of those are not even operating at a profit. Your good programs like Austin States of the world, West Fords of the world, they're operating at a profit, but it's not going to kill the whole campus vibe if you miss a season.
Right.
It's not, I think that's the thing. RJ's already texted me saying I need to turn my mic down. RJ.
RJ, probably text during the break so that we don't stop talking. Just me being Chad Scott for you and critiquing your critique. So you've been doing this. We've been doing this. This is our second week, right?
Right.
So, and we've had you a majority of the time. And one of the consistent complaints that we've had is that when you text Denny, is trying to get the sound. So, like, just wait till the break. Unless you're going to get involved and let us use your phone so that we can get the sound, so that people can hear your voice on the Facebook Live. Stay out of the show.
Oh, damn. Golly.
I don't mean it. I didn't mean it.
That was mean.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it to sound as mean as what it did. I like you, RJ.
Golly.
I like you.
So
Reginald John. You're one of my favorites.
Reginald John.
Yeah, Reginald John Saunders.
Is he even close?
Roberto Jean.
Raymond Jose. Well, I mean, we're on it now. RJ. I mean,
it's an R in a J. Well, anyways,
all right.
We were talking about
what's the ACC? What are you hearing out of the ACC?
That the official schedules will come out. tomorrow in the morning, and that we're most FSU fans are pretty disappointed right now.
Why?
You're happy because you'll get that should be a W, but we're also because right now the big rumor is that Samford will be the plus one, but nobody wants to see that game. Samford, yeah. I don't mind the W, but I just know that like if you told me, James, from a pure football perspective, who would you rather see? West Virginia, obviously Florida's out of it, but like out of all the teams that you could have, I would not want Samford.
Why would Samford play that game?
Oh, because their conference hasn't shut down football.
No, but what I'm saying is it can't be a money game. It's not like Florida State's going to pay them.
Wait, the contract is the contract. If they play the game, they get that. It's not their fault that we're only going to have 25% fans.
So they were already on your schedule.
Yeah. They're not. They didn't get picked up. They were already one of the non-conference.
Do you think
games.
they're FCS, right?
Yes.
Is FCS going to play?
Yes. There are conferences like the Big South. A lot of teams have already said. I talked about it on this show before anybody else did. I guess WCTV in Tallahassee finally broke the news that FAMU has been trying to play, but we've been telling y'all that for a minute over here that FAMU's trying to get a tentative on like a 5-game schedule. They want to FAMU through their like. There was the rumor that FAMU was going to play Florida State, but I can promise you, don't make that bet. Like if that happens and you're able to put money on Vegas and you know that's going to happen, go bet like because you're going to make a lot of money. But I'm telling you that you probably shouldn't do that unless you have some really good information that nobody else has.
Yeah, the college stuff is exhausting. It's impossible to keep up with. It changes every single day. It's like all of those things. And what you almost have to like dig your feet in and realize that it's just August 5th. And if you're an ACC team, when do y'all start? The 12th?
12, yep.
Okay, you're still 5 weeks away. And if you think about everything that's happened in the last 5 weeks, the last 5 weeks would have been the week before the 4th of July, right? If you think about everything that's happened in the last 5 weeks and picture like that much can happen again. And I think at that point, when you get in that mindset, you realize these are all tentative plans.
It's all wishes, hopes, dreams. But right now we're rolling forward with football, and I'm happy for it. I'm ready to participate in the new normal.
You know what it's kind of like? It's kind of like when you start a diet and you say, hey, 5 weeks from now, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds. And 2 weeks in, you go on a 3-day pizza bender and everything's off track, right? That's what this is. This is, if there's a hiccup along the way, a hiccup being an ACC or SEC team has to shut everything down after they practice starts, or the bigger hiccup is, God forbid, somebody passes away at one of these programs, or a coaching staff spreads it and gets it. And some of those coaching staff members have pre-existing conditions that hospitalizes them. Any of those things can be a hiccup at this point. That's why it's almost like whatever news you get tomorrow is great for us to talk about on the sportsden each night.
It's a fluid situation in college and pro.
It's a goal. It's not a schedule. It's a goal. Does that make sense?
That's fine. That's fair.
You know, I can't look at it any way. The rumors I'm hearing about high school football, it's crazy. There's crazy stuff going on. There's people pulling each side. You shouldn't play. You should play now. At high school, at college, NFL, all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it comes down to a lot of stuff that nobody can control and some things that you can. I mean, what was the program? Who's the program I was hearing at Louisville?
Right. That just can't
house party.
With I think 4 sports that they suspended them.
Right. So 4 sports, not football, but 4 other sports, they had to stop practice again, workouts again, because they attended an off-campus house party. And now it's running through there. There's just things that are going to happen. And that kind of stuff can be controlled, but it's not controlled by any of us. Not controlled by the consumers, just controlled by the people playing the football game, and these are 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old guys.
Hey,
What do you expect?
right now, all you can do is plan for what you got. And right now we have NFL training camp underway. And I know what my alma mater is doing on Friday. I don't know about anybody else's. We got practice.
Y'all got practice Friday?
Practice. Hats on.
What are they doing with media?
I don't know. I started to ask, but it would be me just being nosy because you know what I'm not doing? I'm not going to practice. Like, not with all of this going around. I'm straight. I can wait. I'll call my sources and I can listen to the vague descriptions given by anybody else and know that it's all BS. Because if I go and I watch because I'm competent when it comes to football, I'm just going to get a call.
Yeah.
Like I did last time.
Yeah. Well, it is a Sports Den on a Wednesday night, brought to you by ABC 5 Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get by ABC before the weekend. Get your weekend all planned out. PGA Championship this weekend should be fun to watch. You've got NBA basketball. You've got Major League Baseball. You got the start of football in a lot of different ways. All that stuff means that you should drink really good whiskey. That's all I'm trying to say. And drink and smoke really good cigars.
Yes.
You can get both at ABC. Get to an ABC near you. Don't go anywhere else. Like, just get there. Nicest spirit store. I almost said liquor store. Spirit store that there is. You don't need to be stopping by the grocery store to buy your beer. Go there. Who knows what else you'll find. I need to go by there. I need to go by there tomorrow, actually. I need some more whiskey cups. I'm down to like one, like glasses. Whiskey tastes better out of a glass.
It does.
Oh, and it's
especially if you're using ice.
It's got to be a heavy glass. Why is that?
I don't know.
I need to ask Chris that. Like, why are whiskey glasses heavy?
Because typically, if you're in a bar, when you drink too much and somebody says something too much, if you hit them, it's a lot more silent on the hit. Wine is more classy.
You don't hit anybody.
You're not hitting nobody with a wine glass, but a whiskey glass, just right there, right in the temple.
I mean, if you hit somebody with a wine glass, what kind of degenerate are you?
Yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Let's talk NFL and some of the things coming out of there, including Tier 1 and Tier 2 employees who are not football players, also needing to follow the rules and can be subject to fines if they don't. We'll get to that. The NCAA doubling back around on what they're doing to manage or prevent COVID and protect the players. We still got that coming into play as well. The Pac-12 thing, basically, their reaction to that. We'll get into all of that coming up next. It is the Sports Den on 1010XL 92.5 FM, brought to you by thehumidor.com. Make sure you get to thehumidor.com for all your cigar needs. Huge selection, already low prices. We're going to get you 20% off in addition to that. Go buy a ton of them, type in Sports Den, all lowercase, all one word, and you get 20% off. That easy. That's simple. Delivered right to your house. You drinking coffee this late at night? You all right?
I would have fell right asleep on the air. I'd have been a narcoleptic. Did I ever tell you one of my teammates, the other fullback, BJ Dean, was a narcoleptic?
You did tell me that, but you probably haven't told other people that.
Oh, man, it was great. He's an amazing fullback. He was awesome. Me and him competed every year I was at Florida State. He admitted it. Like, he told me this when he was my freshman year when he was giving me a ride. And he was like, he has real bad narcolepsy. Like, he has to take medicine for it. And I was like, well, when you say how bad? How bad? And he was like, well, I was reading out loud one day in class, and I fell asleep.
Wow.
He's like, Mary had a little. I'm like, and you what? You got me driving with you? Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
He never fell asleep during the game, but that would have been, oh my God, that would have been hilarious if it would have happened.
RJ, the Lakers just got worked.
They're taking off. They got the number one seed.
I know, it doesn't matter. But, I mean, it's not like they need rest. They just started playing.
They want to do it right for the good team.
He's the MVP of the bubble right now, no doubt.
That's the guy who everybody. TJ Warren is the guy that everybody's saying just came on.
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
He had 80-something points in 2 games.
Jeez.
Yeah, just get it.
It doesn't matter. When's the playoffs start?
2 weeks.
Right. That's when I'll care.
Is that right, RJ? 2 weeks? Yeah. What does Anthony Davis need confidence for?
Anybody who can walk around with a unibrow like that has all the confidence in the world.
Yeah, I don't think he's lacking that in any way, shape, or form. But it's definitely been fun to watch. I'm a big fan of the bubble right now.
Let's talk about real sports.
What are we talking about?
NFL, you said.
Yeah.
Right?
What about it?
I don't know. You said that you
I tease stuff that I don't have any interest in talking about. I do it every night. What was it? Oh, yeah. So their NFL is now saying that you can be fined for things even if you're not a player. So
nice.
There's prohibited pandemic conduct.
Nice.
The conduct for players applies to all Tier 1 and Tier 2 personnel. So the final agreement between the NFL and the NFLPA includes specific prohibitions on player behavior while away from the work. The NFLPA insisted on those prohibitions applying to non-players too.
Right.
The NFL agreed. So the teams have advised their non-player personnel of the specific things they cannot do. Would you like to know what these things
I want to know what my ticket person is doing.
Okay. Well, they're not Tier 1 or Tier 2.
They should be. Everybody should have to abide by the same rules. But so let's roll.
Tier 1 and Tier 2. First, they can be fined or suspended for committing any of the following violations of the protocols: refusing to submit to COVID-19 testing,
fair,
refusing to wear a mask or other required personal protection equipment.
That's the rules.
Refusing to wear the tracking device.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. NFL players got tracking devices?
Oh, heck yeah.
And this hasn't got the Warriors in the uproar?
What do you mean?
Big brother?
No, I
don't care. Actually, fine. You can track me wherever you want to track me. The only place
you're already being tracked.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's an app.
Refusing to maintain physical distancing in the team facility or while traveling with the team. Those are the 4
major ones.
Protocols. So now here's where they can be fined or suspended for engaging in certain high-risk behaviors.
All right. Okay.
Attending an indoor nightclub unless wearing PPE and there are no more than 10 people present.
You got the text line on your phone, right?
Yeah.
All right, because I need to know this.
Okay.
Hit us Facebook Live at sportsden_live on Periscope. text line. You can call RJ during the break. Where are these clubs? What nightclubs is open? Because I don't know.
Well, you can go to a nightclub.
Where?
But well, I'm just saying, it can't be indoor. You have to be wearing your personal protective equipment, and there can be no more than 10 people present.
So a house party, but that's not a nightclub.
Outdoors. But an outdoor house party.
But if I have 10 people in my house,
what club you walking in with PPE on?
What club is open right now? That's what I want to know.
Girl? Is there like, can we make a remix of PPE?
You down with PPE? Yeah, you know me.
2, attending an indoor bar other than to pick up food, unless wearing PPE and there are no more than 10 people in the bar.
Oh, wow. No more than 10 people. Wait a minute. Hold on now. Bars or restaurant or just bar?
It says attending an indoor bar other than to pick up food. That's all it says.
So you can only do takeout. You can't like sit in a restaurant.
That's what it sounds like.
Fair, because they know very few places, except for my Thai spot. They don't ever have more than 10 people in there. It's just always me and my guy.
Had more than 10 people in there. You talking about the same place I've gone?
No, wait a minute. You haven't gone to the Thai.
Oh, okay.
The Thai spot that I go to on Jackson
I don't know
Beach.
how they stay in business.
I have no idea.
Every time we've been in there, it's been like us and one other.
Good food if I'm going, but like, yeah.
Personalized attention. They're running Coke in the back.
That's probably what it is. Just like Arby's. I still have never seen a line at Arby's. During this pandemic, you can't tell me they're not moving weight.
Dude, I gotta tell you though, Arby's jalapeno poppers are award winning.
I'm gonna tell you why you like them so much. They use what they moving to put it in the batter. That's the only reason that you keep eating. You're addicted to them.
So good. I will.
So you can't go to Arby's. Well, you can go to Arby's because there's no more than 10 people at Arby's, but you can't go to a bar if there's more than 10 people and you don't have a PPE mask.
Here's one that I'm confused about though. So those are the first 2. Here's number 3: attending house gatherings of more than 15 people without all guests wearing masks or PPE or where social distancing for more than 10 people is impossible. Okay, so you can track me, right? Now this is weird to me. So you can track me going to a house, but how do you know?
Snitching.
All of those.
That's the only way, because the only way is for some reason this generation of NFL of the celebrities haven't figured out the thing that we all realized when I was coming up, when camera phones were just starting to become prevalent. Like any real deal party that I ever had will never have pictures of James Coleman in there. Mm. Everybody put their phone in a box in the front, and you pick it up when you leave. And if they catch you with a phone, you get to be escorted out. Like there are no pictures, there are none of that stuff, unless it's the photographer that was there.
But let me read this again, because this sounds complicated. Attending house gatherings of more than 15.
So like what Zeke and Dak did when they got the vid.
Okay.
So like you can't have that.
Of more than 15 people without, not you, but all guests wearing masks or PPE or where social distancing for more than 10 people is impossible.
So wait, what about more than 15 people? So only 10 people got to be socially distanced.
I don't know.
So the other 5 people are free agents. Like, do you like have a special shirt? Like you're the roamer?
Well, here's my question.
You're the server?
So I don't know what tier 1, tier 2 employee is. But let's just say they're
probably got to be front office.
Right. And so wife takes you out, says, hey, we got to go. We're going to see our friends. And I walk in there and there's 16 people and one of them isn't wearing personal protective
I got to go, man. I can't be here, man.
Like you're going to tell them, hey, listen, if you want me here, you're going to have to put something on.
So when they say PPE,
yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Is it a mask or is it like they want the real one?
It says without all guests wearing masks or PPE.
Okay, so they can have a mask. Okay, cool. Because I'm about to say, because what if everybody doesn't have access to that PPE mask? They only got the cloth thing.
Oh. 4, attending an indoor music concert or entertainment event. Well, they should be doing that anyway. Okay, that's
i.e. a club.
That's attending a professional sporting event other than applicable NFL games or events, unless seated in a separate seating section, such as a suite or owner's box, wearing PPE, and there are no more than 10 people in that separate seating section.
So you got to wear PPE at a game was
In
don't
the owner's
go.
box. In
Don't-
the owner's box.
Don't
And
go.
sorry, Mr. Owner, you have 11 people I'm gonna have to.
What if somebody taking pictures and like I was eating wings, right? Because you can take your mask off when you're eating,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm digesting.
Did the wings come from a buffet?
No, they came, but they did come from an adult establishment, possibly. They're not. They don't.
Magic City?
It could be Magic.
No, they got a history.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're delicious. But my point is I'm eating.
Wait, what happens to press box food?
That stuff. Can I say that as COVID, or is that wrong?
Probably has a cure for it, but I'm saying like all of that is buffet stuff.
What about the press box? Forget the food.
Can we just
Like, how are you socially distancing in the press box? But then again, heat kills it. And I did find that out week 1. It is very hot when the sun is shining at you. So us and the honor students were probably the only people that would be good.
Okay, there's one more. Attending an event that is prohibited by state and or local regulation, executive order, or law implemented due to COVID-19.
Like what? So I can't. So you're telling me I can't attend backdoor little people wrestling events unsanctioned?
Apparently,
That's
so.
wrong. What will I do with my free time?
Apparently so. Non-players are subject to discipline that is comparable to player discipline for the same infractions. Also, the commissioner may impose discipline on any team that fails to impose discipline on non-players who violate the relevant rules.
This
seems like, is there anything in there that tracking them you actually can even tell? Like,
you would have to tell on yourself, which, believe it or not, people do a really good job of. Like, they do a phenomenal job of posting pictures that they shouldn't be posting, and then crying about the consequences that come with it.
I don't really want to look it up, but I wonder what tier 1 and tier 2 actually are. Like, I wonder what role. I mean, coaches
probably not physical therapists. Probably trainers.
I guess anybody who's got to be around the team. So football operations, trainers, equipment guys,
right?
All that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know if this is the same rule the players have. Then they might as well just do what we talked about yesterday and bubble this whole thing.
I mean, but those are all things that most people are doing de facto. Like, there is no club to go. Like, that's what I want to know. What club is there that you can actually go to? I don't know. Like, my friend ran one of the most popular night spots to go to. I know for a fact they're not open. And I'm mad about that because I can't go day drink. Because they serve good food. I haven't had good Jamaican food in like, I think it was the day before Lenny shut this thing down. The first time.
You got it in?
The day before? They were like, you could go to places, everybody got to be closed at like 5 or 6 or whatever. Then it was just like, nope, bomb, get rid of it. Then I was like, man. But I did get it in, though.
703 sent us a couple of pictures of craft breweries because you can be outside.
But that's a bar. Barley. That's a bar. Understood that. Like, those are fine, but that's not a club. Like, and as long as you're socially distanced, those guys are responsible. Mm-hmm. They also serve food.
I need those fries back in my life.
Man, yeah. Dude, did you see the brewery on Jack's Beach that is selling $5 Hot Pockets? Like, because they have to sell food, so he paid I didn't realize it was only a couple $1,000 to get your food license, and now they're serving Hot Pockets
for $5 a piece.
$5 a pop.
Oh. 718 on the Lifetime Closures text line. James Coleman's Backyard is a hot new club.
No, you will not. Now, maybe on Sunday when I want to piss off the HOA, when I make a little bit of my money back again, I will get another water slide.
874 says, isn't RJ in the booth by himself? Pull the mask down when you talk on the air, brother. Take a lap.
RJ is defending the ghost. He does not want them to get COVID. There's no need to die twice.
770 is still stuck on the RJ. Robert James. RJ responded, nope. Okay. Reginald John.
I like that. Reginald John sounds very Like, sounds like his voice.
And then the last guess was Richard Jameson.
Ooh.
RJ, please tell me your first name's Richard.
It's Rashard. Rashard Justin. It's Junior.
Oh. Okay. I feel deceived now. But okay, we can get with that. Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to get into what the NCAA has set up to make players feel more comfortable with the COVID protocols. We'll get to that coming up next. So basically, what I'm reading is everybody now is setting up snitch hotlines. So you can snitch on another player, you can snitch on whoever, but at the college level now, there's a number they can call to snitch on their program.
So tell on yourself?
No. So in the situation of, hey, I don't feel like, here's the protocols. NCAA is putting the COVID protocols out there. They're telling the colleges what to do. They're having to educate, or they're educating the players. And then they are saying, if you see something that's not happening, you call this number and you tell us that it's not happening.
Oh, so like what Colorado State guys were insinuating.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. So essentially what's happening now is we talked about the Pac-12 and the I don't know what players union, because I don't know what else.
Right.
All the demands they had. We talked about the reasonable ones can be fulfilled, right?
Fair.
Big Ten had 1,000 people.
That's a lot.
Sign a very similar thing. Not as detailed as what the Pac-12 was, not asking for 50% revenue, a little bit more realistic.
Fair.
The NCAA is now having to go, okay, well, I guess we're going to have to get involved in this. And they're setting hard and fast protocols that the players are going to know what they are and a way to essentially snitch if they don't have them. I mean, I don't know if anybody's going to snitch, but, at the same time, when I first read that, I was like, man, nobody's going to call it. But what else can they do? What else can the NCAA do?
People, I mean, that's all they can do is try to have a place where players can go be heard. And then they can go investigate. And if it's egregious, it's something that they can investigate fast and actually catch them. But if you look at like what Quincy Avery, our friend, tweeted out, he's saying he's having a lot of conversations with a lot of guys who are just like, I don't know, man. I ain't really feeling this right now. Like, so it's a lot of players that are just like, hey, so they got to do something to be able to get it under control. But also players are going to have to, you don't have as much freedom as the NFL players. They ain't giving you a check. The most they can give you is say, hey, we can keep you on scholarship.
Right.
Now, I kind of agree with what
the NCAA said today has to happen.
I kind of agree. I think it's career suicide with Washington, the way it came out with Washington State's head coach did. I agree, though, a little bit. But, like, to me, I kind of want you to still, like, work out. Like, you just can't work out with the team. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want you to lose everything. What if I need you next year when everything gets under control?
Yeah, but if you're not comfortable, like if you're not comfortable in a team environment, you probably shouldn't be on campus.
Well, yeah. If you go all the way home and you just go back, that's fair. I got you.
Right.
But if you're staying on campus, if they're letting you go to classes and you have to take some classes in person, I can understand some of those things. But as far as the big deal thing, like if I'm sharing masks with like Virginia Tech guy,
right?
Hey, NCAA, we got to get this under control.
Well, like you said, that's just being ignorant and liable,
right?
That's what that's being. But
my bad. This is what I was. So players at a certain point have to understand that this is what we can control. Do I want to play or do I not want to play? Like you got to make the decision now. Like you have to make it. And I like the fact that what the Big Ten players are doing, like what the Pac-12 players are doing. But you got to also understand that there are some reasonable things that you're not going to be able to get. And if you're not comfortable with that, that's not a bad thing. You just have to go.
Right. You
have to do what's best for you, which is why I'm not upset with a lot of these guys who feel they have enough film that they can just go ahead and opt out. They're going to be in for some of them going to be in for a rude awakening, though.
Quincy's my boy, and I'm not saying that he hasn't had this conversation with the quarterbacks that he trains, but I also have had this conversation. I don't have a single quarterback that doesn't want to play this year.
I'll say this though, but you have a lot of guys who are young and are going into situational battles that they can't, because if they don't, they will get lapped. And it's not saying it's not
Yeah, well,
not. It's like in like
give
three.
me an example.
I don't know
other
who
than-
Quincy's training.
No.
Yeah.
Give me an example in college football where that's not the case, because here's where I see this.
So I'll give you a case. So the perfect is, and you would know better than me with this one, but like the one kid that he's training, you said Jamie Newman. It doesn't make sense for him to play.
Jamie Newman, yeah, I was going to go there, but okay, Trevor Lawrence, but those aren't guys that are going back to college. Those are guys that aren't going to play.
Most of them, yeah, most of them are guys who are either their junior, they've done enough. If there was a sophomore, that if you were eligible to be for the draft, if your sophomore year, they would have been drafted. Like right now, they're going to their junior or they're going into their senior year, and there's really nothing else that they could have done.
So am I supposed to, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, am I supposed to believe that people who are NFL draft eligible are the only people uncomfortable?
No. But those are just the ones. No, it's probably people who are waiting. A lot of this life is leverage. Like you may be uncomfortable, but you ain't got no choice but to get that field, but to hit that field. You're a 6 to no. Well, because the NFL only gives. That's why it's funny when people say, "Yeah, my grade was second to third." No, maybe Todd McShay or Mel Kiper said that. NFL gives you 3 grades: day 1, day 2, day 3. That's it. Now that's what they do for you now. And if you got
if you're day 2, you're second or third.
But that's what I'm saying. You can guess, but I'm just saying for the most part is that. And whatever they give you, probably go ahead and guess down. If I'm day 3, I don't have the luxury of a guy who got a day 1 grade.
No, because the guys who's playing could do something to bump themselves above.
Right. So that's why I'm saying like like you may be uncomfortable.
Does
but
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, do any of them end up backing up? That's the question.
The only reason that I believe those guys play, even like Sean Wade, who doesn't need to play, the reason why those guys play is because they are truly playing for something at the end of the year that not a lot of people are. They know they have the talent on their team to breeze through their conference schedule and play for a college football playoff and possibly a national championship. If I knew that was that was a real obtainable goal, I would do it.
Which is why the NCAA or the Power 5, whoever it is that puts this together, needs to immediately announce an expansion of playoffs.
Right. Now, if it would really, which they should do it anyway because of the way things are set up. I like even if it doesn't benefit, it benefits the conference, right? More when LSU beats Texas, when Florida beats Florida State, when Alabama, I think, were they playing somebody or anything?
They were supposed to play USC.
So if Georgia Tech beats UCF, North Carolina beats UCF. Believe it or not, that does more for the ACC than a lot of other things because UCF is actually one of the better Power 5s. Better group of 5s. Those things, so even if you never played North Carolina, if they're in your conference, North Carolina beats somebody that you beat and you never played, it makes your strength of schedule go up a little bit higher. It makes that prestige go up more. So like when you say at the end of the year, those are the 4 teams, you feel like there was some kind of cross-sectionality thing.
I got you.
But when it's just conference, all right, now we got 5 conference champions, get the automatic bid, 3 at largest. And that could be
I think they need
in conference.
They need to do that. They need to do it quickly. That's the one thing through all of this we've heard everybody talk about the conference schedules. We've heard everybody talk about start dates. We've even heard discussion about conference championship games. Are we just operating under the assumption that there's going to be the semifinals, finals format? Have we heard anything?
They haven't announced. They've only announced the date for. I think I was half listening to Frangie show, and I think Frangie announced that they've announced the games, but they can very easily just say this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do this within the current bowl championship structure. So it could be done. I think it should be done. I think it would make college football more exciting, and it will help the product when we know. Because
I agree because there's going to be a lot of teams that end the year a lot better than they start.
Right,
and better teams.
And I like the fact that the conference, because there's also going to be a lot of undefeated teams, or like there's going to be a 10-0 going into conference championships.
Yeah.
So like let's say, like I looked at Wisconsin's schedule, and Wisconsin's schedule sets up for them to be 10-0
until they have to play the championship.
And then they play the championship game. But like, what if they really run roughshod through everybody, and they play Ohio State close, and that's the one loss they have?
Yeah.
Is it like is Wisconsin not one of the best teams in the nation?
It's the same argument every year, but this year you have an opportunity to expand it, and people would understand.
So, like, I would love to see a championship game. I mean, whatever, how you break it down. Let's say Ohio State's the 1 seed, and Wisconsin's like one of the smaller seeds, and Alabama wins, and let's say Florida loses to Alabama, but they do very, very well, and they're in that, and you get an opportunity to see Florida versus Wisconsin.
Even if you want to give the top 4 seeds a bye.
Right.
Like, or however you want to do it. I agree. I do want to, like, I was talking about the NCAA coming down with things. A couple of the things they came down with is those who opt out of the 2020 season will retain their scholarships, which we mentioned. But it doesn't say, or I don't see to where do they maintain their eligibility? Do they maintain, or they come back a sophomore, they come back a junior? Like, how does that work?
See, the hard part with that is I'm pro player. And I believe you should, if you're afraid and you want to wait to get some more, you shouldn't be affected. The fiscal and the business side of it, though, unless they offer more scholarships,
and scholarship limits, yeah.
Which it sounds weird to us, but it's not out the question because I believe, I think 95 was when they went down to 85. It hasn't. There was a time when Wild West in the 80s, they had 100. You got 120 people on scholarship. It might have been earlier. I don't remember the exact date.
Because 95 would have been my graduation year.
I know when I was there, it was 85, and it's still 85 to this day. And it had been 85 for a while. So, but if they bumped it back up to 100, now you can have some wiggle room and you can do some things. And you can suggest that guys, like, because what you don't want is you don't want it to be like, well, for if that guy stays, then now you get that +1. Because now you can essentially just redshirt
a lot of people. Like we talked about this with the baseball, basketball thing during last season. At the end of last season, it's not just that person that benefits. There's a lot of people that are affected through that. The hotline that I said, the NCAA likewise has established a hotline allowing athletes, parents, or others to report COVID-19 violations.
That's dangerous.
Parents are going to be blowing that thing up because little Johnny told him something that's half true.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's because not all parents. And I've learned this through the COVID and everybody having their own individual platforms because of social media. And congrats, voice your First Amendment rights, do all that stuff. But it's a reason why some of you never had a platform before this. Mm. This is why I do believe we need to have brick and mortars, and I appreciate what Duval Homeroom is doing with actually having teachers teach these kids online, because some of you people, I am so shocked that you live this long by yourself without somebody holding your hand or giving you the scissors that are safe and the glue that doesn't get you high and all the and those things like that, because you guys are very special to me,
right?
But special across the board. And those people have kids that are going to college, and those people have kids who are playing sports. And I've heard there are coaches who don't like players, but some of the times your kid's not playing, not because the coach doesn't like you or like your kid's just not any good.
It's not good enough.
Yeah. And this is your opportunity to try to get back at the coach. And that's just not really helping.
We got to get to 8 o'clock here in just a little while. We talked about it's funny how some nights we'll talk about something and then the next day, like, our questions answered. Remember last night we were talking about, is it even legal for the NFL to provide a bubble? Is that against NFLPA? We have an answer because there's a team planning for that, planning a voluntary bubble during the regular season. We'll get to that after 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, though, is coming up next. 8 o'clock brought to you every night by Loose Air Quality, LUCE airquality.com. Environmental testing for your home or your business. Maybe you're a property manager. You manage a bunch of different properties. You need to get to Loose Air Quality because at some point you're going to have some issues with one of those. Loose Air Quality's worked with hospitals. They've worked with malls, like skyscrapers. They've worked with just single family housing, everything in between. They can handle it. They're locally owned and operated. The best of the best equipment right here at Loose Air Quality. Make sure you use them. Like we talk about all the time. If you're buying a house, you probably want to get that checked out. Get the Loose Air Quality. If you think you have mold issues, don't let it just sit there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not just going to go away. It's not like all of a sudden, hey, if we ignore this, it's gone. That's not how it works. Give them a call. Call 904-803-1014. That's 904-803-1014. That is Loose Air Quality.
I actually lied to you during the break. I just read this. I do have a 8 o'clock.
Thank goodness, because we had nothing for this segment.
It's the Big Ten.
Oh.
Just when you think they can't get dumber.
The Big Ten's dumb?
Yeah.
What'd they do?
Just think the first thing. Most people in Big Ten, like SEC East, SEC West, even though there's a team in the East that's the furthest west, that's at least.
Yeah, they don't matter any. Come on, Missouri, they don't matter.
But they tried.
Yeah, they don't matter.
Coastal, Atlantic Coast Conference.
Right.
Fits.
Right.
The Big Ten, by the name in of itself, for the majority of the time it's been there, made no sense. Because even when I was playing, it was 12 teams. And now it's 16. But you can't call it a Big 16. Doesn't make any sense. But they broke it up into legends and leaders. The divisions. That makes no sense to me. I don't like that. But that's not why I'm mad.
Legends and leaders?
Yeah, that was with the divisions that broke it into. So they thought that was a good idea. We're going to.
What marketing company did that's just?
I don't know. But I haven't got any, like, I thought, Brett doesn't make jokes. Brett actually, like, he has his blue check mark and he earns it. I no longer want one. I don't care. It doesn't make you, it doesn't validate you. And I joke too much. Mm-hmm. For every serious tweet, I have about 3 or 4 that aren't. So I get it. I could be very confusing if I had a blue check mark. Brett doesn't joke.
Okay.
Brett uses his Twitter as a news source. He puts it out there, and that's it. I don't know what his burner Twitter is, where he actually acts like a human being. But the one that we all see is this. He put weird new Big Ten rule this year. Team that has been most recently quarantined gets choice to receive opening kickoff.
I saw that.
Or defer to second half.
There's no way. There's no way. There's
what
no way. There's no way.
The hell is going on with America?
There's no way. No way. There's no way that's true. No way. I think even the best journalists get fed bad information. He's got to have been fed bad information. So what you want me to believe is there's no coin flip. It's the team who's been quarantined most recently gets they automatically win the coin toss?
That's basically what they're saying. I don't like it.
I cannot believe that. They say it's too good to be true.
That's too dumb to be true?
Yes. There's also things that are just too stupid to be true, and that is entirely too stupid.
But there's this thing about smart people that they can never amaze you at how dumb they can be. They overthink things all the time. This could be overthinking. I mean, this is the league that they told us last week was considering going to the spring. So, I mean, like the spring, everything is going to be better.
But, okay, hold on.
But this rule.
We do this exercise
dumb.
quite a bit.
Okay.
You're telling me that at the Big Ten offices,
mm-hmm.
one person thought this.
Yep.
Said this out loud.
No, not yet. You skipped this. Well, yeah, said it out loud to him in his office by himself.
Right.
And verbalized it.
Said, I'm going to present this. Said it out loud, thought, okay, yeah, this is a good idea. Then goes into a meeting, gets the sweaty palms before he's going to say it, right?
Yeah, but they called their colleague first.
Well, they did Zoom meeting.
Yeah, they were just like, hey, man, listen, I got this idea I've been thinking about.
Right.
There's a lot of COVID is really running rampant. What if this hits, the Fighting Illini and they're not any good anyway? It's like, I think we should give them them the coin flip. What do you think, Barbara? I think that's amazing. Like, let's bring in Jan.
And Barbara probably said, yeah, you should present that thinking.
That would be what I do.
Laughed out of the room.
So, like, if I'm in troll mode, if this is Friday, I'm like, yeah.
Hey, yes, Ronald, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yes, please do that. Ronald Jr. Hey, everybody, Junior got this idea he wants to present.
They're all like elbowing each other. Watch what's going to happen. And then Ronald busts out and says what?
I think the team that's the most affected by the COVID should get the opportunity to defer to the second half or get the ball first.
And then Jim says, Ronald, what do you mean by most affected?
What I mean is those who had the quarantine. So like Rutgers would have a chance.
And then Jim's like, that's a good idea. And everybody says that's a good idea. And next thing you know, Brett McMurphy is tweeting about this.
Yep. Somebody's texting him like, because this is what I think happened. This is what I will say. This is what happens to me with one of my sources. I can't because it's all Zoom, but I just got to believe he's just like turned even in the Zoom meeting. Like you just turn to the side like, you ain't going to believe what these cats just said right now. This dude just, oh my God. This Thrasher said, Fox, when I see you, if I see you in the streets on site, if I catch you in Whole Foods, I'm whooping your ass. Like, but no, I'm saying that's what had to be like in Brett. I hope Brett's a G sometimes. Just Brett like, hey man, come on, dog. What am I supposed to do with this? I promise you, Brett, this is what happened. You got to record it, screenshot, screen grab, and then send it to me. Re-ask the question. And this is my man. This Barb is like, Ron, explain it to me like I'm 5. Run that back again. What you said? Screen capture. And then Brett's like, oh my God. Ron's an idiot. Like he's just he's special, man. But that, again, these are, I don't know, man. Like this is one of those things like nobody asked for. I was telling you, like, it's cool, some of these statement things, but like that's everything but what we asked. Like this is one of those everything but what we asked for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Do we know if referees are gonna have to wear the PPE? Because that would be hilarious. But we'll have so many blown. We'll have way more blown calls with referees with helmets. Can they wear the 7-on-7 helmets, like the little soft helmets?
Soft shell helmets. We talked about this last night, didn't we? About officials and coaches, though. Like my 8 o'clock is nobody talking about them.
I know this. Officials and coaches. Well, we need to have backup officials. You should have that anyway, for just in case, right? But I think like they should have penalty boxes for coaches now, like how they do in hockey and all that other stuff. Because the minute you get your COVID breath right behind my neck because I made a bad call, and you start doing all that talking and spitting, and if you don't have a mask on, I'm going to give you 3.
Well, I'm sure they're doing the same thing baseball's doing.
Like you can't talk to the referees?
Like the whole social distancing between the referee and the manager.
That's what people haven't explained to me is how in the hell do you social distance on the sideline?
Now I did see this.
They're going to have like little lines?
No, I think they're expanding the sideline. So I think instead of it going from wherever it goes now, it's going to go like from the 15 to the 15.
Oh, they're making it longer. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, they'll make it longer. And then if you're not going to have fans in the stands, you can use all of that room going up to the.
Well, you can't because that's where because they're going to probably have even more cameras in there, and that TV thing.
You can use the first row of the stadium now.
Ah, fair.
You know what I mean? They can do anything they want to do.
But even with that, even if they make it longer, this is what people like James. What's it like to be on the sideline?
You know what's going to happen.
Going back, it's the worst seat. In the house.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because if you're when the defense is driving or wherever they're going, that's where everybody's migrating. So you have to walk to the other side of the field to be able to see something. And when the offense is driving down, you got to walk away from that.
You know who's going to get hosed in this whole thing?
Who?
The red shirts and the people who aren't dressing. They're not going to let them on the sideline. Because if you look at a sideline, there's 70 dressed out.
Yeah, a home game about that.
Right. And then there's another 40 of these dudes just in jerseys.
Because I think it's only
doing the swag surf.
Was it 55 or 60 when you away, when you travel? There's rules the NCAA has for who you can actually take on away.
Yeah,
trip.
those dudes are out of luck.
But yeah, now they ain't putting you on. Yeah.
Because if you go 15 to 15 with 60 guys and
you
10 on fields and
social media was already eliminating the people who lie. But now that you really can't lie no more
about being on the team.
About being on the team and being like that. You might be on the roster, but you ain't on the team. You here with me. You watching the game. The only thing they may let them do at home games is you could come and you can like experience the game in the lounge.
Or maybe
they may let you do that.
Maybe you sit where the recruits normally sit. Like maybe it's that end zone at the Swamp. It's that they got the end zone bleachers.
Yeah, how does that work with the 25%?
Yeah, I don't know.
How does North Carolina get away with that? North Carolina's not having any fans. So how do you host people?
Well, I don't think you can. I think they're going to continue the whole dead period thing through the season is the rumor.
Oh, God.
So that's when you were saying last night about, Miami and a couple of those teams, Tennessee, being at risk.
Well, Miami lost the recruit today to West Virginia. That's in the Miami area. He flipped. He announced that he was flipping to West Virginia.
That's the one thing, though. That's why I don't want early signing day. If you're gonna go,
if you're gonna go dead period all the way through the season, you gotta you can still have 2 signing days. You can still just make National Signing Day the real deal.
You don't need 2. You need 1 because the guys who early enroll in January effectively sign.
Yeah, they're gonna go. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? You already had the early signing day by people who were going in January. Like I hate early signing day. I despise early signing day because really all you've done is force the hand of players earlier.
I hate guys who don't take all 5 visits. Take all 5 visits.
Who can?
Who can take all visits?
Yeah.
Some don't.
Let's be honest here. If a guy takes 1 visit and commits, it's because he didn't have the others lined up.
Right.
There's a very small percentage of guys who can get 5 trips paid for.
Right.
Wined and dined.
I'm gonna tell him from jump. Like right now, if my son was coming out, I would tell White Mike, you have the best shot.
Mm-hmm.
My son's gonna go to Florida State unless you gotta mess it up or Coach O gotta really he gotta close the restaurant down. And he got to bring. I don't even eat crawfish, but he got to bring the crawdaddies in. He got to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich stand. Make crawdaddies like he did for the court. Probably not, but just saying. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be honest with them. Like you're not talking to a dad who ain't been through this. We're going on every visit.
What if they hit you with if you don't commit now, your offer's gone?
Cool.
What if they hit you with we've offered 3 at your position, the first one to commit gets it?
Not a problem. I can understand the Clemson model. That just means I'm telling you. I'll silent commit to you if that gives you some solace. But if you're afraid of me, like my son, who will probably be more well-traveled than actually he is already. He's been to Cuba. I ain't never been to Cuba, and I smoke cigars. I'm mad. I'm jealous of his life. But if we get a chance to go to Cali or Oregon, like we were talking about yesterday, I'm taking the trip. Bump him. If we get a chance to go. It's some place.
By that point,
I would tell him it's a family vacation, man. We're really just doing this, man.
You realize by that point, it may be a rule where they can actually pay you to go. In addition to the free trip.
Oh, they'll give you, more than the per diem?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, we're going to go on a visit to South Florida somewhere. We got family down there. We'll take it.
Man, you ain't going down there to see Manny.
No, but if Manny wants to pay for the trip, to stay on South Beach, and for me to go to G5 and get a steak, then I'm all for it. Here's his itinerary. I could care less about the school part. I'm done with school. Tell him what you need to tell him. Little boy, and I'm going to tell the coaches, he don't make decision without me signing off on it. So y'all don't pressure him all you want. He say he committed. Daddy's going to everybody and saying the hell he is.
You know what's going to happen.
So
you're talking all this stuff, and Trey is going to get that first offer, and you ain't even going to know it. He's going to commit on the spot.
I'm gonna tell him the truth. I'm gonna be like, yo, it's your decision, but I'm gonna be like this. Your dad committed 5 times. So I mean, like their job is to make you feel good. Like they do a really, really good job of it. But we're gonna make this decision as a family.
I've had quarterbacks that will go on a trip, go on a visit, will sit down the night before. Listen, don't commit. I'm not, coach, man. I'm solid. I'm a rock. I'm not committing. And they walk in that thing, and 10 minutes later, coach, I want to come play here. I'm committing.
But the biggest difference between all of that,
you know what percentage of them actually end up there?
This is probably like 5.
Yeah, very.
But the difference between all that, and this is not a problem either. I think this is dope. Like one of the best things that we do on this show is when the kids commit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see the father, especially when they got mom and dad involved, the pride in the dad. Mama don't really know. You know, everybody's happy, but they've never been through it before. So they're really experiencing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like this is their first time experiencing like the crowd and all the everybody wanting you. Yeah, he ain't got that. Like he's not. They might get his mama, but I might tell her like, no, this is boys' trip. This is what I'm here for. You took care of this. Like you had this thing on lock, and thank you for your service. You took this. You handled this all the way up to 14. Like I said, this like 14 to 18. Okay, that boom. Now this is where I get in. For some reason, they let me around kids to coach them. I told the guy, I'm like, MFTK is my slogan. We're gonna break on that. We're gonna do a lot of other stuff. But I wasn't supposed to be coaching them until.
If I go to night game and y'all break on MFTK, I'm turning you in.
I'm gonna tell them like, hey, listen, why did you stop? Why did you score? Well, the other team, they need to get out. Go to no. Like the Peyton Manning thing. No, dude, you keep going until I tell you to stop. Go sit in the parking lot. But the thing is, it's a lot of fun. But I believe kids should take the 5 trips, like just so you can experience different cities. Know what you want.
I don't disagree.
But yeah, you are right. The way these guys are going after them now, I think they shouldn't even allow kids to commit until you've taken at least one official visit.
I don't think they should allow kids to commit until they're fully qualified.
I think they shouldn't be able to offer you.
I agree.
They shouldn't even be able to offer you.
Huge transfer news in high school. Like really big transfer news in high school. Let's get to that coming up next. It is a sports den. Heading towards the home stretch here. I'm laughing because I'm reading this 247 sports report. There's been a big transfer. It's been a big transfer, but it's at the high school level. It's not at the college level. USC commit Jake Garcia,
Okay.
who is one of the best quarterbacks in the country this year,
Right.
was at La Habra, California.
That's the place that Lauren was doing advertising for, right? They was doing like the dinner in the theater.
That's Alhambra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not La Habra.
Oh, okay. My bad.
And I don't even know if that's how you say it, but
or the La 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 Bumba, the song. That song.
Yes, that one. Yes. He has transferred because California doesn't look like they're going to play.
Good for him.
And he says, look, California's not playing. West Coast pretty much shut down. Arizona, Nevada, Washington, etc. So I had to leave the region. Now, remember, he's already committed. He's going to early enroll to USC. So he transferred to Valdosta High School in Georgia.
Shout out to Rush.
Rush Probst is the head coach there. You may remember him from Two-A-Days on MTV way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Valdosta will be Garcia's fourth high school. He played at Long Beach Poly as a freshman, transferred to Harbor City, and then left when the coach left for Arizona State. Spent 2 years at how old is this dude? Narbonne, when his coach was forced to resign, and then transferred to La Habra to play his senior season. Now he's not going to play there. There's two things about this. One, that's a big move. Like as a family, like you're going from LA
right
to Valdosta. Valdosta is a very good program.
Right. Very different. Very, 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 very different city.
Right.
Like actually, you know who has experience in this? I don't need you to talk too long because the people on Facebook Live can't. What was it like for you, RJ? Aren't you from LA? What was LA? Just real quick, the difference between y'all moved to Jacksonville. Whole family's here, right? Was there a slight change?
Yeah, a lot faster here, right? A lot more things to do here, right? A lot less humidity.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's what I will say about Jake Garcia.
LA cat's weird though, man. Cali cat's weird, man. To Southern people in the beginning, it takes a lot. They got to grow on you, man. Like the only person who is not weird that I ever played with is Travis Johnson. I'm not gonna lie, I love Lorenzo Booker. He ended up being one of my really, really good friends in college. Man, when I first met him, I was like, man, I hate this dude. He's so weird. Like he is annoying. He's very Cali. And he wasn't annoying. It's just he was an alien to us.
Yeah, especially in high school.
Yeah, I mean.
So Jay Garcia is effectively going to be Sunshine from.
Basically, that's it.
That's basically what he's going to be. But the one thing I respect about this is this tells me like this is a guy who really likes football.
Right, he wants to play.
He's already locked up his scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the equivalent of like if Trevor Lawrence in Clemson said, "I'm not playing." And Trevor Lawrence went, "Okay, fine, I'm going to go play somewhere else," even though he's going to be the number one pick. Right? That's kind of the equivalent here. This guy's moving all the way across the country, assuming his family's moving. I have no idea. To play at Valdosta when he's already locked up his scholarship at USC. Now, if I'm USC right now,
I don't want him out here.
I'm sweating right now.
Don't want him out here.
Here's the other thing that's interesting. That Valdosta Lounge game is going to be lit right now because two of the best quarterbacks in the country will be playing in that game. One in Jake Garcia. The other one is a 2022 kid in Jakari Brown.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Same city.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. And that kid is really stinking good. Like,
are they same classification?
Yes, they're. I mean, that's the big.
I know they're rivals.
Yeah.
I just didn't know like if like
same
one
district
was
or region, whatever it is they call. Yeah, and remember last year, Lowndes went to the state championship and lost. Valdosta turned around, hired Rush Probst, who is a very good coach. Questionable some things, not coaching.
I mean, listen, dude.
No telling what they had to pay him. And now
and
they can take Garcia.
and them.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure the whole family's taken care of.
Yeah. That's I mean, we've heard, like, you and I both have heard that IMG has had just a boatload of guys coming in from the West Coast, to the point where somebody told me the other day, I don't know if this is true or not, they may field 3 or 4 teams at IMG.
Right. Shout out to my dog Sean King down there, offensive coordinator,
I forgot he went down
former
there.
Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Completely forgot about that. So Jake Garcia, going into Valdosta, see if he wants to come into 6 points while he's down here. Might as well, right?
It's not that far.
Just have him and Jakari hop in the car together.
I know White Mike is happy.
Why?
Because I know he likes him. I know. What do you think about Curves?
Likes him.
What do you think about Curves?
Kirby Smart?
You think they're like
no? They already got their guy.
All right.
Yeah, they got the Brock Vandergrift guy.
That's right.
Yeah, they already got their guy. Next year's classes, or this year's classes, is solid. It's top heavy. Caleb Williams, Jake Garcia, the Brock Vandergrift guy, all good players. The following classes after that are really good. If you want your quarterback, you don't have him for 21, you're probably not getting your guy that's going to be your future, but your 22 guy, you got a chance to get a very good quarterback, because there's a lot of them.
Nice.
In that South Florida area or South Georgia area, you've got the Jakari Brown kid, you've got Jake Garcia, and you've got the kid I trained, Holden Garriner, who's got every offer there is. Yeah. So it's a great area right now for quarterback play, for sure. There was something. What did I plug about college football? There was something that I teased. I don't remember what it was, though.
I thought you just talked about a major transfer.
Yeah, I did, but it was before 8 o'clock. I said something we were going to get into, but now I don't remember exactly what it is. What do you think is going to happen with Florida high school football? Are you like everybody else and just have no clue?
No clue.
No.
And honestly, it's kind of messing up the bread right now, because I need, this is one of those months right here. I got to get everything in, and I would have had it done by now, but they keep pushing everything back, so nobody knows what the conditioning is allowed, and different counties are doing things differently, which really, really sucks for me down in the Central Florida area. And it'd just be good to just say yes or no. And I just really wish there was somebody who just really, truly didn't give a damn and was going to step up and be a leader and just say, I'm going to make the decision either way. You can, if it works, then I'm king. If it doesn't, let the hate flow to me. I'm man enough, or I'm woman enough to do that.
They tried that. They tried that originally.
Who? Bobby John?
No, the FHSA originally said in that first meeting, we're playing as scheduled. And then the blowback was so much that they came back into the second schedule. I
thought the schedule that the meeting said they were going to let y'all handle it county by county. And if you want it, it was a, hey, we're not changing anything, but if you don't want to do it, that's okay. No, they should have been like, this is what we're doing. We're rolling with this, and take the blowback, or just say, hey, we don't know yet. And I would have been fine with that too. But at some point, you've got to allow these young men and women, because I think the thing that people are neglecting right now is volleyball, which is a major sport. We may not cover it, but it is a huge sport. And everything is basically set up around football. So you've got people, maybe not so much soccer, but there's basketball. This affects basketball. There are a lot of numerous dual sport players that are all over, that are all around this state. And the longer you delay it, I could possibly do it if my son were older, because I got family everywhere. Would I do it? I'm not 1,000% sure. But there are people who can find, if they just said we're canceling it, there are kids who could go to Georgia if they really, really so choose. Well, but now they can't do anything because Georgia's moving forward.
I don't know that Georgia's the right move.
I'm just using a state in general. Just saying, they're,
because here's what's happening in Georgia right now. There's high schools, Decatur High School. announced Tuesday they're canceling 3 of the September football games and all in-person sports and extracurricular activities until September 25th.
Wow.
So it's even though Georgia as a state has said, hey, we're going to play, you're starting to hear every single day a school say, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're shutting it down for a little bit. Like, because they're supposed to be full practicing right now. Decatur High School said, no, we're not. We're shutting it down until at least September 25th.
Wow.
Colorado today announced moving high school football, or yesterday, to the spring. Minnesota announced football and volleyball moving to the spring.
See, that's going to be impossible for Minnesota. Hard for Colorado. Like, when they say spring, they got to mean spring.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Because, like, we joke about how hot it is to start football season. I couldn't imagine starting football season when there's snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And having to warm up later on. Like, that would just be, not only does your body have to get used to the cold, now it has to get used to, like, I guess where 80 degrees will be bad. Because if they go into May. Because you got to have 4 months, right, for football, no matter what.
Well, a lot of people, like I heard earlier today, and I was trying to find it, but apparently there's an athletic directors association or panel or council or something like that in the state of Florida. And there's been 3 things proposed that I guess will be decided on at the final or at this FHSA meeting next week. One of those things is to move the season where you don't play the games till December.
So they're going to have a spring season.
Start practice in November, but here's where it is. It's a really shortened season. So it's like you're playing like 5 or 6 games.
You can just do you really only need to do your districts.
But
and make it like college. Essentially, you're doing what college did with conference.
Do you though? Like, I mean,
that's what college is doing. You're shifting
10 games.
Yeah, but it's only 10 games because you got 16 team conferences. Most districts are only like 5 teams.
So a lot of districts are 4 teams.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
games.
you go 3 games.
So you gonna do
plus
all this
2
for 3 games.
I'd rather not play the season
in the spring. They play 3 games now. Or
if you do it in the spring, then the NCAA needs to immediately be working to completely overhaul the recruiting calendar. Because it's impossible to
I think they would do that if Texas, Georgia, Florida.
That's what I'm saying. Like that would be so. If it's Florida, if you're not playing in the fall, you might as well just go. In my opinion, just cancel.
So I know what I plugged before. Remember, I was talking about when we were talking last night. Can you build a bubble? Can you?
Yeah. Which team?
Bucks. Tampa Bay Bucks plan a voluntary bubble during the regular season. That's what we used yesterday as the word voluntary in air quotes. This is according to Pro Football Talk. Says NFL teams are waking up to the ability to create a hardened bubble without seeking formal permission to do so. The league has already said that it is permissible to have a voluntary bubble, which the Saints are doing during training camp. Now one of their top rivals take it to the next level. Says that the team has secured a hotel in Tampa for players to sequester if they choose. And then it says, spoiler alert, they will choose. I think this is one of those where it's like one team has to do it and every team kind of falls into line with that.
And I'm not opposed to that. I really think, I like the rules that the NFL has put for tier 1, tier 2, and the players. That's their rules and their consequences. Now that I know the rules and I know the consequences, I can choose.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have freedom in my choice. Do I fear the consequences more than I fear the pleasure? And I think when you're adding a hotel, there's a whole different element. And I think this is where my son gets it from too. Like, hotels take me out of my normal everyday. Like, in a hotel, I can go to sleep at any time.
Mm-hmm.
I can just black the room, turn the AC down. I sleep well in hotels.
What do you turn the AC down to?
As low as it go.
Really?
As low as it
Till
goes.
it stops clicking?
Till it stops clicking. I want that thing frosty. It helps my muscles relax.
Okay.
It's like being in a consummate, cryo.
Cryo, yeah.
But I can order, something about spending $15 for 10 wings. I don't know why. They're not the greatest wings.
You don't have to leave the bed to do it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it comes to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have good burgers. I can get a salad if I want to eat healthy. They got
Who eats healthy in a
DoorDash.
hotel
That's
room?
but my point is, it's a lot. The TV selection. Have you seen the TVs now in these places? They're no longer the box top things. They actually got a little flat. The good ones give you over a 32-inch TV now, which is a lot different than mine. But I don't complain when I'm in a hotel. Now, if this was my house and I had to look at that TV, I would be mad. I would be like, I could go to bed. But you know what? If I'm going to be there for a long enough time, you know what I can do? And I got NFL money, I can call Best Buy. I can go get me a new one. I can do what was it Damian Lillard that I said did with the bubble, NBA bubble?
Yeah.
He said bring his PS4, his Xbox, all that stuff, and he ain't leaving. There are things that you can do in a hotel that just, like some of them, the good ones, hopefully they give them like the ones with the robes. Like just put the robe on sometimes. It just makes you feel like you're rich, even though I guess you are rich if
You are rich.
in the NFL.
But
But my point is that it does something mentally too to help them. And they're in camp. So like if they go to this regular season, they're saying in the regular season, it gets you. I'm trying to tell people like it's just extended camp. Like not your kids' camp. I'm just saying like when guys like me or Leon say camp, we're talking about that's code for what we're doing in the season. It's just
it's a level of focus. It's a level,
And I would just tell my family it would save me money because then your family can chill where you're at.
Well, Pro Football Talk brings up Tom Brady, and
Giselle ain't come down. He all right.
No, she did.
She did?
Yeah, that's what they're saying on there. Is he had this long interview with Howard Stern a couple months ago where he was talking about. She's basically said, "This you're coming to the end. Like you're not. You're coming home. Like we need to spend time as a family. Is he going to quarantine? Like it's voluntary. Is he going?
But like, can you meet? Like are they like? Do they have guards at the gate? I mean, at the lobby on the lobby floor.
Who's going to tell Gazelle?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you can go in. What it just will remind me of is like when you leave and you go and you stay in a hotel when you're on the road. People can do. You can try to sneak them to your room, but for the most part, all the people you meet you meet in the lobby.
If you're going to go all the way out as an NFL team and you're going to have a hotel sequester situation, you're going to have security at the bottom, and nobody's coming in. I don't like meeting at the lobby even is questionable because in this situation, like, I mean, they keep them out of your room in college for obvious reasons. The whole point is to limit exposure to anybody from the outside.
I think like if friends and family, like again, but I'm with you though.
I don't know where they've been.
But Giselle, like, I mean, that's if Tom is regimented. So there are a few players that I believe like, and he already has that weird lifestyle and diet that makes him believe he can't get any sickness anyway, and he ain't been sick. So maybe he won't do it. But if I'm a rookie, I'm taking advantage of it because I'm cheap. Because now I ain't got to buy a crib for you. Save rent. If I'm a guy who's low on the totem pole, and I normally just sign like if I'm like Gardner, but I think Gardner probably just re-signed the lease. But like he didn't. He said he didn't. He was in between places. I'd be like, cool, great, appreciate y'all. Thank you, player.
Think about if you're a rookie in California.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely saving. Yeah.
A rookie in New York or Chicago, like you're saving a ton.
You're saving between any rookies in general because, I guess even like Jack, like you're saving like in Jack's. Like if you get a really really nice house, I don't know, but let's say you're saving between $2,000 and $6,000 here.
This, Nate was telling me when he went to Oakland to rent a 2-bedroom apartment out there in a decent area was like $5,000 a month.
I believe it.
$5,000 or $6,000 a month. I mean, if you're a rookie or even a Nate situation where you're kind of still in that first contract, making league minimum, that's a large percentage. And in Cali, they're taking 50%.
Right.
By the time they get done with local taxes, like I mean, there's 70% of your income's gone.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the bubble.
I'm gonna take that hotel and hope it happens again next year, so I get it again. Then go live with mom and dad in the off season.
The one guy, the homeless guy, a couple years ago when we made the run, he'd be right.
No, wouldn't it? Because he wouldn't have had.
He wouldn't have had that hungry. He wouldn't have been hungry. That's right.
He wouldn't have. Nobody would have known who he is because he wouldn't have had the story.
That's why. Maybe that's why the Jags have we regressed.
How you gonna cut a homeless guy?
Cold blooded, man.
By the way, Jalen is not making friends.
He's doing the same thing in LA that he did here.
Did you hear the media today?
Nah, what was going
When
on?
he walked out of the press conference?
Oh, he walked out?
Yeah, he had some smart aleck, sassy
That's what he
response.
does.
And then he just got up and left. And the LA media, and ain't the Jacksonville media.
Not at all.
LA media was like, really, dude? I mean, you could hear them say that out loud. Like, who do you think you are? We said this when he left. Like, if you don't pay the man, he's going to end up reverting back to what he was here.
Listen.
That was an expensive rental for them.
Hey, man. He'll be right. He'll be in Cashville. Go back home, make his money, be a Titan. Jaguar fans will hate him even more.
Is he worth right now what he was worth this time last year?
No, he's still one of the top young corners. I mean, it's tough. Like the second contract isn't just about what you are now; it's what you're projected.
Right.
He's still young and very talented. So
if he goes through a second team,
like if he doesn't if he doesn't have to stay in LA.
He just can't act.
But if he acts a fool and is like pouting and the back hurt thing, it's a lot of backstory to that. But if it's like, every smacking and sashaying and doing all this other stuff and being a jerk, then all right, Jalen, the Denny Thompson Turd Talent Index comes in. But unless you're balling, like now, if you do all of that and you get 6 to 8 interceptions, God bless. Somebody's gonna pay you for that headache.
Yeah, you're true. We'll get to the text line. Let's take our final break. I'll come back. I'll search the text line. We'll get to some of those coming up next. wrapping up the sports den tonight. Another night gone. We fill back in for Rick tomorrow, right?
Yep, 6 to 8.
6 to 8 tomorrow, 6 to 8 on Friday as well is where you catch the sports den. When are we taking the week off? We decided?
I would like to. I mean, you want me to tell you now? Or are we going to talk about this off air? Or do we have to get this approved?
I mean, I don't know. We've never taken a week off.
Do we need to do it one at a time?
No. Because then one of us has to do the show, and then it's 2 weeks for the show's
Off.
Like, I mean, you agree?
Nah,
Like, what's the
I
week
agree
you're
with
wanting to
you.
do?
17.
Like 2 weeks from now?
Yeah. Hold on.
Uh,
Yeah, 2 Mondays from now.
that doesn't do me any good.
Okay.
Because then I'm still working at the other job. Like, I'm still.
When aren't you working?
Well, I don't
like
know.
I've
If
never
they
known
go
you to
back
not
to-
work.
No, if they go back to football on the 24th,
That's the last week you can get it in.
then that would be like at least a decrease. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to take a week off of radio only to work more in the other gig. Maybe we do just need to take a week off each, but it's got to be before football season.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't really like you ain't got many weeks, bro. It can't be next week.
When's the Jags' first game?
The 12th. The 13th, I think.
Of September?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at it. My vote is for that week of the 31st.
Nah, I got the big time. I got to prepare for my season. Can't be a first year head coach and lose at the gate. I'm undefeated as an interim.
Well, maybe you take the 17th and I'll take that first week of September.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's a good way to end the show.
Well, the people can decide. Not really, but
They may decide they want us off all the time.
fair. You guys don't decide, especially people who were mean to us when we did the drill.
All right, that's been the Sports Day. Make sure you get to ABC. Go get some liquor in you before we come back on air tomorrow night. We'll be better, I promise. That way. Make sure you follow us at Denny_Thompson, at Big Game James _36, at sportsden_live. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Y'all have a good evening.